Activating meridians. Alignment. Instability in field. Negative. Charge aligning matrix field. Positive. Coordinates reached, Commander.
Activate the Sade field.
Activations of multidimensional engines.
Launch communications probe.
Power levels to maximum.
Activate all dimensional levels of communication.
Communication established.
The voice you hear is known as Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. This is the last slave planet in the galaxy. Under all agreements, under all rights, under galactic law, we now proclaim this planet free. The descension of the true human consciousness has begun.
Energizing Shambhala diamonds.
The men, women, and children of this planet are now set free.
Grid fields activated.
You have already reached
Activate Shambhala diamond.
critical mass.
Integration onto microcosm. Expanding linear space.
Prepare for landing.
Free space activation. Landing. Caution. All crew members to station. This is the Starship Bob. We are landing.
Right, welcome everyone, Dark City show. A little bit late getting on there. We had a few technical issues today, a lot of problems. But hey, it's all working in this wonderful world we live called the internet. So in my little box before me tonight, my little internet pals, I have Prajna and Callie. I've got Lee from over in Spain, Prajna and Callie, of course, from the Dark City caravan. Hidden away in the wilderness. And Lee from over in Spain, who's been doing some brilliant work on coordinating things on the ground. We might have a little bit of a musical treat coming from Lee's direction a little bit later in the show. We've got I Am Ty, of course, he's always hanging about, our famous robo-hippie. And he's been busy. If you have a look on the website, there's all sorts of little bits happening there this week. And all the uploads now available on Torrent. If you go to the website at www.darkcity.com and have a look on the archive, I do believe it is, you've got a little green button now. You can torrent from there, and they do come up there. That's probably the quickest way to get them. They're just the audios, of course, and you can also MP3 download directly from the Dark City site, so you don't have to go through any of the big corporate media controlled streams. Of course, yeah, we put them up to YouTube. In our perfect world, in our utopia, then we wouldn't need to use such likes. I was a great follower of YouTube in its early days, before it was bought out by the corporations, and if you've got any doubt on whether or not those media streams are being manipulated, then go into our chat room. That's Bob's Backyard on AnonNet on IRC. Or alternatively, go to the website again, as I mentioned, www.bobsbackyard. No, it isn't. I'm lying. That's the old one. It's darkcityradio.co.uk or .com. And you can click on to the live page, well, it'll take you onto the live page as soon as you enter the site. Right there in front of you, there'll be a yellow button, right top centre of the page, and it'll say click here to take you to chat. If you click on that, it'll open up a page. It'll say web user, and below it, it should say Bob's Backyard. Now, it does on a lot of them, but on some, on the Mac, it doesn't do it. Thanks for Jabba, who filled us in with that. Big thanks, mate. So, yeah, make sure it's got hash Bob's Backyard, and you'll be away. It's that simple. And there's normally a hash in front of all of them, but just make sure that hash is there. And that'll get you into the chat room. And yeah, there's plenty of people in there who will, I'm sure, can explain to you quite in full, utmost detail how we have been manipulated and coerced into a position of defence, where we are actually defending things now and protecting them. We're not doing that here at Darkcity. We're not really interested in working with any of the other radio stations now. I'm doing this live and putting it out. It's not that we have a problem with the people who are putting out shows or their information. Nothing to do with it. We want to present an alternative to the media streams. So we're not going to collectively get together, okay, because we want to work for a big media corporation, Blog Talk, or we're not interested. We don't want to work for YouTube. They're there, they're providing us with a service. But we truly think we've discovered an alternative. So if it's all right with the rest of you in this so-called movement, which we don't see much but circles being formed and drawn in the child's sandpit, we're tending to plot a different course. We want to be different. We want to try alternative ideas. We want to bring them to the forefront. We think the solution is there already. So let's put the parts together and, as I say, see if it works. It might not. Hey, we don't know. At least we're willing to give it a try. So yeah, thanks for those people who have supported us and said that it'd be nice if we went working with them. And we're just not being horrible with you. We're here. We have space. If you want to come and work as work, it is work, I suppose, or play. Play at radio with us here, because we are only the little tiny radio stream, aren't they, without hardly any figures or numbers. Of course, when we look at those figures and numbers, it tells us a different story, a massively different story. Now, with a gentleman we've just been on some brilliant information there, yet again from Don's diorama. Brilliant stuff, man, with a hell of a lot of passion. And he's bob on, if you excuse the pun. He's right on the button. Of course, a lot of the times we're dealing with different choirs, different audiences, and this needs to be put across in a multitude of different ways. Again, we're looking for solution. That's what we're predominantly about. Well, especially on the Darkcity show. Of course, if you want to have a problem show where you only go on about the problems, you're quite welcome to do that. That's fine. No issues at all. So, the manipulation of the streams, the media streams, the manipulation of people, this coercing of our children into sexualized objects before they even reach puberty. The coercing of we did a bit of fun stuff with Danny Shine. It was nice to have Danny Shine hanging around on the crew. Going to do a bit of interviewing for us. We need to get in touch with Danny again and make a few arrangements on that. So, but yeah, brilliant stuff. And on that, some of them were arranged. We didn't get to them, but it was around models, and the models they're actually using. And this airbrushing, they're actually airbrushing flesh back onto these people. This is not right, that we're actually using people who are obviously got kinds of issues to promote and sell a product. Kind of a world that we're living in. You know, next we'll be selling, you know, body prosthesis parts. You know, you can get your own parts fitted because your own body isn't good enough. Right, anyway, a bit of a tangent there from me, but we've got some good stuff. We have got some good stuff here on Darkcity, but we're not going to defend it. That is my point here, and that's the point I'm trying to get at. We have been put into a position on numerous occasions where people would want to attack us. Why? It'd be just a simple question. Why would they feel like we are doing something so wrong? Could it be something that's reflective? Could it be because, you know, as we've noticed with Rick Simpson's show, brilliant, I might add, Rick's passion, you know, there's a man, you know, and they don't. Who's going to go up against that guy? Who's going to go up against him? So yeah, brilliant stuff from Rick Simpson. We're getting there somewhere. But we've looked at this now. We've had researchers out there. Sadoom has been scratching around in the surface, you know, on the top of it. Lee himself today, asking people to get in touch with us. You know, get in touch with us. Come on. This is Rick's here. He's broadcasting through a UK-based station. Of course, this is the internet, and we've got people. I'll have a look actually. We've got people from all over the world. I'm going out on a limb saying that. Watch to be nobody there now listening. Oh yeah, trust me, there's people from all over the world tuning in right now. Says 43, says 43 on that one, 42 on that one. So yeah, there's a lot of people listening. A hell of a lot of people listening. We have got 2 streams now, so don't worry about that. I know, don't want you holding back. You won't break us now, or at least if you do, that gives us the opportunity to fix it. So solutions, that's what we're about. I'm going to keep coming back to this over and over and over again until we realise, all of us, we are the solution. We are the solution. If we want to perceive the problems and we want to focus our energies onto things that we can't do anything about, then don't complain. Don't complain after the fact, right, when the government rips you off, when you receive medical attention that is really not really any medicine in it at all. It does you more harm than good. Don't complain. Don't complain afterwards. There are people out there now, the information's there for you to know that you don't need authority from someone else to create a better life for yourselves. Don't do it for anybody else. Don't do it for your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister. Do it for you. And together, collectively, we will create a better world to live in. Great guy who's got on to Darkcity in the last couple of weeks. Now come across him. Did his first show last Monday. I kind of not comparing myself to anyone, but it reminded me of when we first went to Revolution Radio. We took a dark slot, what we called dark time. You might get why I did Darkcity show. And that meant there was nobody really listening. There was no shows there. It was the end of it. Nothing was happening. We went into a dark slot. We had a good time there where we were doing it. We learnt a lot of stuff, a hell of a lot of stuff. But that reminded me on Monday. A guy come along and he went, no, I'll do Monday. There's nobody there. Nobody there. One show out there all on its own. Pretty cool. I like the ideology. One man, one woman can make a difference here. We do make a difference every moment. Every moment of every day. Every breath we take makes a difference. Every thought we have makes a difference. Okay, some of us haven't had too good thoughts, and maybe we haven't breathed properly, you know, maybe we haven't been taking the breath when we need to. But we shouldn't beat ourselves up for that. And we are at the dawn of a new age. Every single day that you awaken, wherever you may be, you are there. You know? Jabba, the show, what was on Monday, Decoding the Babylon. Excuse me, I'm not looking at the schedule. My memory's getting better by the day. Decoding the Babylon with Jabba. Overstand. He's removed the word understand from his vocabulary. Give it a go. It's part of the magic. I'm convinced of it. It's another little piece in the magic. But yeah, tune into that. Great show. Don't need to tell you about Dawn's show. Most of you just listen to it. You know that Dawn's getting, I don't say getting better. Dawn's brilliant at what she does. We know that. Watch out for Kali and Prajna. They're starting to get a little bit out there in the Darkcity now. I don't think it'll be too long before you see the Kali and Prajna show, or should we call it the Prajna Kali Prajna show? We're not quite sure what we're going to call it, or even if it will happen. Danny Shine coming up there, contacting us just recently. It's good stuff. You know, I often sit here and think, what's next? What's next? You know. So yeah, who knows? Who knows what will happen on the Darkcity? So if you do want to join us, it's only a quick show tonight. We've only got an hour because coming right up after this, we have Summoning the Madness with Zach, another artist, brilliant, creative artist. We're being surrounded by them. We really are. We really are. If you do want to join in, get in touch with us. Please do. We've put a lot of things out recently, like I said earlier, with the cannabis movement, to see how much organisation there is. Is there anything organised? Is there a central force pushing in one direction? Is there support for Rick to come to the UK? Could we make it real? Can we get together and make this 16,000 euros real in Spain? Can we do it? Is it possible? Well, we may move quite quick here at the Dark City. We may. And they have started to come, slow and sure. I've been contacted within minutes of Rick's show finishing from people down towards Essex way. I won't say any more because I need to chat with them first. So yeah, it's coming in thick and fast. If you do want to join in, and you do want to kind of be part of the Dark City, please get on board with us. Get on board. All we ask is simple as this. There are no real rules, just guidelines, simple guidelines. Tell us before, not after. Afterwards, we can't do anything about it. No violence, and no racism, really. I mean, really, there is no race. You know, we are one creed, but don't start beating on another group of people because you don't get or understand them. You know, do your research. You know, integrate, speak, chat, talk, whatever background you're from. We like to say that all are welcome on the Dark City. It's your radio. Of course, for these people sat in this room now, they all know that they can make that statement, but it'll never be theirs. This radio will never be mine because it's yours. Now make us stop saying that. Don't be one of them. Don't be yours. Join in. Join in with us. We're opening that up. And people will go say, oh, well, we want to have a show on a Saturday and you've already got on a show on Saturday. We've got 2 streams. If we get 3 shows on a Saturday, we'll put 3 streams on. If we get 4 shows, we'll put 4 streams on. What's the problem? We don't have problems. We are Dark City and we are the Dark City crew. You can join us this evening, please do, at Bob's Backyard to your Skype. Just call in, we'll get you on the show immediately. Mute your microphone when you come in, we do know you're there. Just going to get it round, you know, we'll pull you into the call as quick as we can. Or you can telephone us on 0044 161 298 0298. We'll get you on the show, especially if you've got a solution. If you have got a problem, bring it forth. Bring it forth and share it with your brothers and sisters, because talking about these things goes a long way to releasing the problems we've got. Many of us don't even realise or recognise the... Excuse me, don't know what happened there, a little bit of a technical issue, we lost Skype. Just let me have a look at that and make sure that is actually working, and I think it is. I'll just have to check on the stream. Hey, that's what it's all about. Yeah, we're working again, live radio. There you go. As quick as we went away, we've come back again. Completely lost my drift there. So yeah, nutshell, what am I on about this evening? We're 20 minutes in. I want to give you a chance to get in. I've just given all that information out. If you haven't got it, well, I'm not going to give it all out again this evening. Just type Dark City Radio into any search engine or a browser. You'll find us now. It's really good that I can actually say that. That goes to the work of all you lot out there as well as the people on. Join us. That's what I'm on about. Join us. Right then. Anybody got anything to throw into this Dark City show this evening? We have been joined by Susan from Australia, I didn't mention. Anthony has joined us again. Lee's with us, Chris, and I do believe Chris is on his own now. We might get a musical interlude from Lee, but it's a short show this evening. And Sadama, and we've got our server back. So, do any of you want to add anything?
I wouldn't mind having a little ramble, Paul, if that's all right, just for a little while.
You ramble away, sister. We'll call this Dark City Ramble.
I wanted to talk a little bit about fear, and I think we actually covered this the other night as well, didn't we, the fear agenda? And it's difficult probably to put into words, but I'll try. if you lot are all a reflection of me, right? If everything that I perceive is a reflection of what I am, because I'm putting it out there in order to perceive it here, whatever that might mean. But anyway, if everything out there is perception of me, and all over the place I'm seeing people actually buying into this fear agenda and living in fear and preaching fear, and then other people getting upset about people being in fear as well, which is a fear in itself. And yet here I sit, and I get caught up in it sometimes, but there's so much positive creativity happening all around us every single minute, and we're actually slap bang in the thick of it, each of us ourselves in the midst of that creativity, and it's powerful. We can choose to direct it in whatever way we please. You know, we can create a whole new paradigm. And in fact, that's what we've got to do anyway, so let's just get on and do it. But we don't achieve that by being in fear. We achieve that by realising that what is around us right now is all that we have to work with. And so get on and work with it. Fall in love with yourself, and even if you live in the dirtiest, scruffiest hole in some urban area, rundown urban area, see the beauty in it, find the beauty in it, create the beauty in it. You know, paint the fucking walls, grow plants, grow hemp, grow food, whatever, and fucking share it. This is what we have to do. Don't get caught up in the politics of everything and in the politics of fear. We know what we're up against if we've done any kind of research at all and been down even just a few of the rabbit holes that are out there to be explored. We know what we're up against. And so we have to disengage from that energy and go, fuck it. Let's do something different then. Let's not do that anymore. And even when we encounter resistance to that from the existing order, then treat that in exactly the same manner. You know, it's an opportunity to create something new. You can't create new when you're in the old. So do it now, right now, and that's it. I got a bit passionate there, didn't I?
That's what you were supposed to do, encouraged to do. I'm in passing, I'd like to mention that the chat has been absolutely insane tonight. It's just gone like a rocket up the screen, and there've been a good collection of people in chat. We've got Zaros and Larry and Bratty and Anon Shaw and Anthony and Cheshire Cat and Den and Cosmic Debris and Boulevard Nights and Catty and a whole bunch of Chris's and Destrudo and a guest and John and Kit and Liederman and Norcom and our mate Phil and the Rackmeister one and only Shampoo, T-Console, Trolley, a web user who's still very anonymous, Zangrif and Zeb. And it's really nice having all these people in chat and asking questions and getting involved in the show that way too.
Cool
so
in.
Go and have a look.
Who's next? Sorry, we did two then, Paul. Sorry.
Well, I don't mind you having two goals, but I don't need all that sorrow in my life now. Well, come on, solutions, girl. Come on, solutions. You know, changing those little affirmations. You know, I think you're right. You know, I do. I think you're spot on, Callie. It is a case of being that change. Like I say, it's for us. We've had a lot of people throw rocks at us because we're trying to do something different. We're not doing anything wrong. Well, I suppose to them, you know, we might be taking away their livelihood. You know, but I'd say, well, come on. You know, you've had a good run for your money. You've had a good run for your money. You know, don't start getting upset at us now. You know, you know, if that's the world you're living in, then you should have put something away for this point. What, you mean you thought that the 15% of the population that gets served, you know, it was going to last forever? That's not how it's going to be. It really isn't. So yeah, I think we've got to give those without solution, the people with problems. We have to kind of put forth the solution to them. It's a shame, like, we reckon the cannabis, we're having to almost ram it down the throats, you know? And it's not just that, you know, you look at everything else. I mean, it's just, there's one massive solution, isn't it? The number of times people have come at us and gone, oh, well, we need hemp. Oh, and we need hemp. Oh, and then if we get hemp. And the answer so many times to too many things. Coincidence? Synchronicities? Are you right, Callie? People just scared. Are they just scared? I think you could be
May I
right.
interject that?
Go on, Anthony.
Great. Yeah, you know, the things you're talking about, it's something that I've encountered a lot is when you tell people this type of information, they have that fear, right? That what that person was just talking about. And it's how you embrace that fear. It's how do you approach that fear? You either turn the blind eye to it and become part of the sheeple, or you do something about it. And I feel that spreading the message is part of doing something. It's because not enough people know the seriousness of what's wrong. So sometimes you have to think of different ways to convey that to them. There are certain turnoffs with certain people, like certain political paradigms and certain religions. But once you get them to look past that, it's about embracing the fear and putting that aside and saying, look, this is what's wrong. And the more that people know, the more apt we're all to unite together to do something. And that's my opinion on how we can use that fear to our advantage.
Yeah, personally, fear is an energy I've embraced. I'm fearless now, in the sense that, you know, I don't go and stick my head in front of a high-speed train, you know, because, you know, that's fear working for me. And I'd say, no, that's daft, don't do that, you know, it's a good one.
Right.
But I'm not going into the right and wrong routine with it. I think that's a polarity we've been coerced into. You know, often our consciousnesses don't relax enough to be able to accept a change. You know, it's all right saying, oh, well, they can all wake up. We'll bombard everybody with all this information and then they'll know that. No, the consciousness has just got more to think about. You know, and while it's actually thinking, well, it's not free to change. It needs to relax. It needs to feel safe and comfortable. And so, yeah, for me, there's what we call, well, what a friend of mine called the net of the gladio. It catches curious truthers. His explanation, not mine. It catches curious truthers like a spider's web. And they're pushed from one place to another, you know, this pile of truth and that truth and down this rabbit hole and out. And before they know it, they're lost. And they really are lost, looking for a head of a beast that no longer exists. But they are now being affected by what I call the gladio effect. They are defending a position. They're defending that position. Now, that's all right. That's all right. Well, it's not all right, but, you know, it's acceptable. Because they generally don't know any different. They didn't know. But when we reveal that to them and say, no, well, this is the truth, you find then the real people who are prepared to move with truth. Because in our experience, so far, most are not. They are not prepared to do what they are asking of others. They're not prepared to do that.
You're right. It's because people, they don't want to have to do something. Once you tell them, once they feel like they're required to do something about it, they want to go back to their Matrix-type life and continue watching their programs and watch the next football game, not have to worry about it. That's why we elected these politicians, is to make those decisions for us. But once they fail to do those things, the people are, you know, like you said, they're afraid. In my opinion, people have been have been given a big giant pillow and they just don't want to get off of it while everything's burning up around them, you know. They're just sitting on the pillow waiting, and they don't realize that pillow is flammable too, and that they're going to burn eventually as well. But what do we do before it gets to that point? What do we do before they set fire, before it's too late?
I would suggest that you go off what Callie... Just 1 second.
We're all going to die tomorrow. Shit. Do carry on. Sorry.
You see, I'm going off what Callie was saying with the reflection. If all things are a reflection, then who are the they that you're speaking of? Are these aspects of yourself that are going to be on this pillow when it catches fire? Is that you?
Well, really, it's what I consider freedom. It's what I consider being independent of the government. It's that having control of your own life is that pillow that I'm talking about. Having your freedoms, having your rights, and slowly but surely, inches of it burn away, and they let it happen. Well, it hasn't burnt me yet. Oh well. It's that mentality. Oh, well, we should be searching people. TSA should be patting crotches because we're looking for terrorists. People get that mentality because they're basically training us for the future to treat us. They treat us like prisoners in the airports right now. I mean, I know this is kind of going off a different subject here, but I'm just using it as an example. And it's sort of just like they indoctrinate us through the school system. We're being indoctrinated through the security theater we receive through our ports, through the airports right now, through security. And it's all because of this boogeyman, Al-Qaeda, that is always referenced, and that's something they always stand up to promote the agenda to take away our rights.
Right, if you let them, of course. Just a little bit from chat there. We've got sheep are my family. Magical turtle time. Laughs out loud. Slaves ask for their rights.
Yeah, that's
Prajna. Just let us hand it over to Prajna, Anthony, because there's quite a few in the room and we get numbers. You can't see them, of course, but I can, so trust me. Prajna?
This thing of fear, it's crazy. You don't have to fear fire. You just have to know that it burns if you stick your hand in it. That's all you need to know. Once you know that, you don't need to be afraid of it. You don't need to be afraid of anything. It's not... Who wants to... What is it they do? Grasp their fear or
cling
onto their fear?
And apparently distribute it then.
Excuse me, if you just lost us there, we just had a massive collapse. Everything broke. And we're back on the Windows server. It did survive. We've done it. I do think we've... no, we're all right. We've got another 18 minutes. And we made it back. So it might be a bit of a short show now. A little bit of a short show. But yeah, hey, we've done it. We are back on again. So that was a bit of a disaster. Does anybody want to actually say anything? Because I need to go and put my head.
Yeah, well, we didn't crash as hard as Cyprus, I'll tell you that.
No, we did recover a hell of a lot quicker, didn't we?
And we didn't have to get control from the World Bank on this situation, did we?
No. Well, technically, without the World Bank's pathetic handling of the so-called world economies, we wouldn't have a station. So
it wouldn't exist, right?
Oh no, it wouldn't. It's been paid for by bitcoins, and obviously bitcoins have gone out of the window because of the instability in the other currencies. So. Yeah.
Very sorry to interrupt, Paul, but I know you need to just put your head in your hands for a minute after all that frantic...
I do believe Lee's trying to get it. Go on, Kelly.
All right, go ahead, Lee, yeah.
No, not a lot. I was just saying to Bob, see if you can add Connor. He's just sent him a request onto the call if you want to do. He said he's willing to do a try, have a go. There we go. He's going to try and do a song for us if everyone wants to listen.
Sounds good to me.
Can one of you get ready to take the server on Windows? My machine's now under attack.
I'll have a go.
Okay, I'll do it.
There's no problem with us both doing it, is there, Paul?
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know. One of you'll just have to get on. There's not a lot I can do. My machine's coming apart at the. Hang on a minute. Let's get that out of there. You have to give me a minute.
Welcome, Connor. Welcome to Dark City Radio. And a few of you here I haven't spoken to, so hello, Anthony. Hello, everybody.
We don't know what's happened to Paul. Maybe
we're live.
Bombs come down or something.
There was fear in the room, and you know what? The energy of fear creates.
Oh, it creates,
that's an energetic thing. Right before your eyes, it's called instant karma, That's my take on it anyway, but we don't know what's happened to Paul.
But anyway, we've got a team here, and we managed to get the radio back up, and that won't be a problem. Our problem now is just to get hold of Paul at the end of the show, find out what's up with his computer.
Yeah, his computorium. Both servers seem to be attacked at the same time. One Windows, one Linux.
Yeah,
they were attacked, huh?
And,
yeah.
And then his computer seems to have gone down big time.
Completely, yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
anyway,
is it anonymous?
well, Anonymous are our friends.
Yeah.
But
got
then,
5 minutes left.
Thing too. I knew people that they were involved with that, but they wouldn't do. They pretty much seemed that they wouldn't do that to us.
well, do you know,
somebody doesn't like the truth.
They don't like the fear we were talking about.
It's all just to make us stronger and cleverer anyway.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Dawn, what was it you were saying?
I'm just saying it's all par for the course. This is actually very, very unusual for us. This is the first time this has actually happened, where everything is just like ceased. So you've joined us at a good time, Anthony. Yeah, very
well,
nice.
it just means that we've already become a stronger team. Shadama jumped right onto the server and got it up again and called everybody back into a new call, and fucking brilliant, mate. So the team just got stronger. Weaknesses in the hardware and software will be identified and showed up, so that just got stronger. Poor Paul, though, fucking hell, he is so tired. He's working so hard, that man. God, shit.
Absolutely incredible, really. The amount of effort and the amount of time and the amount of sweat and the amount of... You know what it's like when you're picking up something new and you've got to cram your brain full of all this stuff that you've never had to worry about before. And suddenly you've got to become an expert on all kinds of things and keep some kind of overview of it all. And that's what Paul's been doing, and he's been doing a magnificent job of it.
And he's been being his own secretary as well and organising shows. And good God.
And we can talk about it at the moment because he's not here on the radio. But yeah. It's very nice to have you along, Anthony, for sure. Your level of passion is probably about the same as we've got too. I think we really have got to teach people how to get away from fear, how not to have any fear. And the only way is to face fear, really, and start with small fears. Find little things you're afraid of. Do you know, half the problem is that people aren't even aware most of the time of the things they're afraid of. They just decide that they don't like a particular thing, or they're not comfortable about a particular thing or something, and they never look into it to see what it is about it that they actually fear. And if you look into your fears, if you face your fears, then they go, and then you're fearless. And people say to me, to do all this kind of rebellion stuff that you do, you must have a great deal of courage. But actually, I don't have courage. Courage is an artificial thing. It's something that you have to create inside yourself, and it's completely artificial. It's man-made. It's something that you create. But fearlessness is something entirely different. Fearlessness is when you realize there is nothing to fear.
It's letting the fear go.
Exactly.
I couldn't have said it better myself, to be honest. And what I was trying to say earlier was, sometimes you got to turn that fear into anger, and you got to use that anger to take these people down.
Hang on. Whoa, wait. No, I just said get rid of your fear, and you're telling me now to use it. If, in order to use it... Well, you get rid of it, but that's how you get rid of it. You turn it. You hold on to it, it's going to corrupt you.
No, pick me. Where's Paul to pick me?
Turn it into transform your fear into courage. Like you said, you turn it into courage to face your fear and to say this fear isn't a fear because...
Anthony, can I just make this point, because we've only got a couple of minutes left.
Okay.
And shit, what was the point? It's gone twice now. The fact is that the fear and anger are a natural result of becoming aware of what's really going on in the world anyway. So all we have to do is actually present the information, present the truth and the reality of where we're living and what we're living in. And then when we recognize that those we're informing are feeling that energy of fear and anger, so we go in with the energy of love and nurturing and creation and create something better. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I agree with that 100%. And maybe I worded it. Maybe I worded it the wrong way. What I'm just saying, if you channel the right energy, you could use courage, just like he just said, to challenge the source of what's making you fear, or, you know, what's causing the fear, quote unquote. And you know, it's up to the people when they receive this information. I sort of relate back to when I first woke up. I was, you know, of course I was afraid, but I turned it into I was angry at the same time. And I never let that anger go, and part of that is what fuels me today. And whether you call that love, maybe you call that love, I call it looking out for my fellow brothers, my fellow humans, and challenging the fear. If you want to call it fear, whatever. If you want to call it corruption, if you want to call it, I mean, of course people are afraid of that. But I really like what you guys, how the way you guys put it. You know, you attack it. You come at it with love. You come at it with the facts. And just like Gandhi said, you have to be the change you want to see in the world. We have to live by example, and that's the essence of eradicating the fear right there.
Anthony, I noticed that Paul's back online. Are you there, Paul?
Oh, Paul, well, maybe you can hear us anyway.
It appears as if he is, but we're not hearing anything from him.
His official show.
He has no sound. His sound is gone. So he's only here in spirit. Okay. But maybe he has enough sound to hear that we're here.
Yeah, well, he can feel that anyway.
Are we going to run over with this show, or are we going to draw it to an end? This is
I think
the question.
We need to probably draw it to an end, and then we can get into a chat with Paul Bob and see what can be resolved in the first instance.
Well, people, all of you lovely people, listeners, and all the crew and everyone that's been involved, thanks again for being on Dark City, on the Dark City show, Dark City radio show. Absolutely, I won't get my 50p unless I put Dark City radio in there. Everyone, would you like to say goodnight to our listeners and tune in next time?
Thank you for listening.
Great. Thank you very much for letting me be part of the show, and I hope to be on in the future, and maybe we can have a full-length show next time.
I think we could talk for show after show.